This evening we have enjoyed watching Southern Comfort. I'm Jesse Welch.
I'm Callie Welch.
I'm Logan Winton.
And I hate these people.
And this is Play Hall for Me.
That was beautiful.
Aww.
Much better than mine.
Southern Comfort, 1981. A weekend training exercise for the Louisiana National Guard should have been routine. Just another trek through the bayou, through the swamp. But when the soldiers borrow a few canoes from local Cajun trappers and fire off a few blanks as a joke, they crossed a line they couldn't uncross. Now, deep in hostile territory they don't understand, the Guardsmen are being hunted by men who know that swamp like the backs of their hands. It's mud, it's blood, and pure paranoia, where every shadow could hide a rifle barrel, and every splash of water could be the last sound you ever hear. Southern Comfort. The bayou's got rules. You break 'em, and it'll break you.
Welcome back to your nightly program. Looks like we have another terrifying show served up for you. Don't you feel that horrible chill in the air, tingling up your spine? Don't you love it? Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you need on a night like this?
Can you play horror for me?
You want horror? Play horror for me.
Really good movie. So this is a movie that we really like. A good manly man movie. I'm not really sure how it sticks with the ladies, though.
I like it. I mean, it's very soothing. Like, there are lots of long shots. The soundtrack is fabulous. So, like, it's a good, like, I feel like you could watch it and go to bed, which is probably means there's something wrong with me. But, I mean, I enjoy it. But, you know, I like this kind of stuff. So, might not be for every lady out there, but they should give it a try.
If they don't like it, they're wrong.
But no, yeah, like this movie just, it's kind of like all those type of like, it just feels like a typical, just kind of like guy movie where just introspective, just, you know, there's kind of like that stereotype with guys, you know, like they'll have, you know, all night long discussions with each other or something, kind of discussing life and the meaning of life and just kind of bare their souls for each other, kind of just let it all out. And I feel like this movie is kind of like one of those kind of conversations. Kind of like a movie like The Grey. I don't know if you ever saw that movie with Liam Neeson. Really good movie. Really, he filmed it right after his wife died, and it's about a guy who's dealing with his wife dying. And but kind of like these type of movies, just a group of guys, kind of like different types of guys that you know, and you know, like very different parts of you or something, and you kind of see them interact and see how they would deal with a situation like this. So that's why, because sometimes, like, in the past, I kind of looked at this as a war movie. But then the last two times, I kind of just look at it not as much of a war movie, just a guy movie. Just an introspective, just see what would happen. I don't know about you, Jesse. I don't know how you...
Well, you know, just the second time I've seen it, and I'm not, you know, as enlightened as you are. So,
No.
You know, to me, I definitely see that, and I definitely like that. you do. I hadn't really thought about it in the framework of being like a guy movie, but I think just to me it's like I don't know what the right word is, but really just like an anthropology study, because it's like it just dissects human nature, I think. And so I definitely get the, kind of the guy talk and the, these are my feelings about this, because there are those moments. But, to me, it's more just about human nature and just the way that we are. And I think, and I think I said this when we watched it before, but, it's been a while. To me, this is probably the greatest. I said what I said. The greatest Vietnam War movie there is, and it has nothing to do with Vietnam. But like, to me, the entire thing is an allegory for Vietnam, and so I love. Callie mentioned the speed of it, because it's both. It's like this anthropology study, but then it's like this war movie all at the same time, and then it's kind of a horror movie, and like, I don't know, it wears a lot of hats, but I think it's very interesting because it takes place here in the States. There's never any mention of Vietnam or anything like that, but like, to me, the whole thing's just a setup for kind of what we did over there. And so it's a study of, a guy movie, like you said. It's kind of a study of human nature, like I said, but then it's kind of this soothing thing, like Callie said, but then it's also just a look at kind of how we are as Americans. We bust up in here, we steal the boats, we shoot blanks at people, and then we can't figure out why somebody shoots back at us. And I don't know, I just love that about it. And I think, that was true when it was made in the early 80s, and it's certainly true now.
So play victim and stuff, and it's like, I'm just playing a joke, whatever, just firing blanks, and it's just like, fuck, I mean, that's kind of crazy, but but it's like, like even like in the montage, the opening credits, when they're in the water, and then Reese, who's like totally like all in on this, like treating this like, all right, now this is like kind of like my Vietnam, I'm fully in character. And then like, like they get the fishnets, and he just cuts it for no reason. And it's just like, why the fuck did you do that? And the guys just kind of look at him, but they don't say anything. They just kind of let it go on, just let this bad behavior go on. It's kind of, and they wonder why. Well, when these guys act up, it's like, don't be too surprised, because you didn't do anything to stop them. They just the little stuff.
Exactly.
But it's just what you said. It's just just kind of humanity, just like a little science experiment. You just get these personalities and just see what would happen, and just because like like the way I say it, kind of like guys, like a guy movie. It's just kind of think of like when you were a kid and stuff, when you're playing like Cowboys and Indians. Or playing like, you versus zombies, kind of imagine zombies or Nazis or whatever. And you kind of, think you're all cool and stuff, and you're all badass, and it's just like, you think you're like John Wayne or something. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you go out in the woods, in Louisiana, it's like you feel like you're that. It's like, I'm an adult and I'm doing that. And then when it's the, shit hits the fan, and then all of that's just out of the way, it's like, all of that kind of, romanticizing of all those ideas, it's just, you're completely wrong. And it's just like, oh no, I'm a pussy, whatever. I'll fall apart. I would panic, and I feel like this movie just really kind of shows that really awesomely.
It does. And you've got this squad of guys, and I like what you said about how it, it kind of looks at a guy's inner feelings, or the things that he's thinking about, but like, in some ways this squad is like a breakdown of all the different male emotions. And so you have, the person who just totally can't handle it, goes crazy. You have the person who can't really face reality, but then fixes the bayonet and runs straight at the guys because he kind of lost it in his own way. Yeah. And then you have, all these conflicting things. So I think it is fun that you see, the makeup of a squad, from a purely military sense, but then you also see, I think, here again, human nature, or men in this situation, because it's men we're looking at, that have all these emotions. So I keep saying men, but, I think it could be true. If you had this squad of women out here, you could explore all those same emotions that would be going on. Who would you have that would just became a basket case? Who would you have that, took charge and tried to make things happen? And it just, I don't know. I think it's just such a good, study of human nature. And I need to do some more reading, but from my understanding, it's not based on a novel or anything like that. It really feels like something that had a really, really good writer, something that you'd be like, oh yeah, I've read something that this person has done. But from my understanding, you correct me if I'm wrong, it was just writers. It wasn't pulled from a greater work or anything like that. It was just like they wrote the movie, and I don't know, it just has a real grit to it and a real feel that I feel like you typically get from literature, that's crossed over.
Yeah, this was Walter Hill was the writer director, and Walter Hill, he was the opening kill and Messiah of Evil, and the one who gets like chased and that little girl stabs him, whatever.
Oh,
It's like he wrote like Alien and like The Driver and some other stuff in the 80s, whatever. But like he's kind of just one of those guys. He kind of just writes, get a group of guys, and they just got to survive. Like they're in a situation, they just got to band up together and try to escape and kind of just explore human emotions and stuff. But yeah, like you were talking about, like the guy with the bayonet. It's just like, because like at one point he's like we're in war or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, he's kind of bought in. Like, all right, this is how his mind's accepting all this. And then like he does like the heroic cool thing that you see in the movies, like you go on, like I'll take care of him, and he does the bayonet thing. So he probably had these ideas of war and kind of romanticized it and stuff. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna have my moment. And then he just gets shot dead.
Yeah,
so.
like,
No, and I think it's just his is such a neat character. I mean, I think every character in this is cool because they're all well written and they all very round characters, and they all have their moments. But I love Reese's character and just the way he, or not Reese, what's his name? Casper. Thank you. See, look at you.
look at me.
But yeah, you just see like this total transformation, and I think he's genuinely a good guy, trying to lead, trying to do the right thing. But it's very apparent he has no clue what's going on. So then, what do? You recognize your own shortcomings. You make up for the fact that you don't know what you're doing with heroics, and so you have this moment. But I think it's very interesting. When the sergeant gets shot, he talks about well, this is a Vietnam veteran. He has the Vietnam Star. He's got the Bronze Star, and all this stuff. Kind of lists this guy's achievements, and you realize to what degree he looked up to him. And so then, when he starts talking about some of this stuff, well, we're at war and all that stuff, then I was thinking, oh crap, I bet he was in Vietnam, and so maybe he's reliving the glory days, and then I thought about it more, and I was like, no, I bet he wasn't in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And like, this is his Vietnam. So then, because of the way he looked up to the sergeant, because of this situation, you see, you have this moment for glory, and so then you do something stupid.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just very well written all the way around.
Yeah. And I think that Casper's character, it's like a lot of people that are in leadership.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like, maybe he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like,
And everyone knows it. Yeah. It's just.
And to some degree, he knows.
Yeah,
It,
like-
it's like,
but then you're like, no, you're going to respect me. If you have to say that, then we're already starting from behind.
yeah, respect's
Like,
not something you ask
yeah,
for.
so.
But then, I've got these bars, and
Yeah,
these bars
yeah.
mean you listen to me.
Yeah.
But no, I think you just really see all sides of him, and especially his progression throughout the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. His character's so great, and like I love the one part where they storm the guy's house, and then it's like he's kind of afraid, whatever, and like they're kind of like, hey, like we have no idea if this guy like was the actual shooter or whatever, and then it's like he's like there's two groups, so you got like the crazy ones like Reese and the guy that Stucky who started the whole thing, and then you got the normal calm-headed ones. So it's like who does he pick? He goes with the loudmouths, which is kind of like what we do in real life, where it's just like, oh, I'm too afraid to make a decision, so I'm just gonna listen to like the loud ones, the ones that are trying to take the lead, even though they're probably wrong, but I'm too afraid to make a decision, so I'll just go with them. Just little stuff like that. Just like you're talking about, just whole movie is just just human nature and stuff, but just having the Pool, who's played, I can never pronounce his last, is it Coyote or Coyote, I don't know, Peter Coyote or whatever, but one who gets shot in the head at the beginning, but it's like he's clearly like the leader, so it's like this is clearly like the head of a guy, like the head of the group, that everyone respects.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's so awesome when you kill him off. Then it's just like everyone's all scared, and it's just like, oh no, what did we do? So we just listen to this guy, and now we're stuck with Casper, who's a perfect name because he's always afraid of something. I guess I don't know, but or childlike.
Yeah, both, I think. Yeah, and you don't ever want to overanalyze because you just need to enjoy the plot for what it is. But then, I was thinking as the movie was going on, I was like, why? That that you had these guys that get shot at by these blanks on the machine gun. They dive for cover, and then one of them pops back up, shoots the sergeant in the head. But they had distance, they had the opportunity. Why didn't they kill more of them when they were flailing around in the water? And it's like, well, why would you? I mean, you've cut the head off the snake, and you can sit there and watch them, just act like a bunch of idiots and then fight amongst themselves and everything like that. And, back to the war reference, I mean, that's exactly what, Vietnamese would do, shoot the leadership, and then, watch everything fall apart, and then you could pick them off, in small groups. And then, here again, not just in Vietnam, anything, but yeah, just the way everything fell apart very quickly.
Yeah. No, it's just so great. It's like, like you could have made this movie like in the 50s, whatever, the National Guard, like in Appalachia or something, and they go, in the hills and they start messing with people or something. Mm-hmm. Been a metaphor of, us in World War II or something, but
exactly.
But yeah, definitely the Vietnam thing, just like they're going in the little shacks and just fucking stuff up for no reason. Just,
burning stuff down just because.
Just gonna burn this place down.
And then we just kind of assume, just the arrogance, that there's gonna be no repercussions.
Yeah,
we're gonna take these boats. These are our boats now. Well, how are we gonna get them back? Well, I don't know.
We'll leave a note.
Yeah, it just kind of read my note. And I do love too. I think human nature in general, but then I think also just the arrogance of the Americans. But like, I love the scene, where the cabin's blown up. They're talking about, or well, I guess before they blow the cabin up, they're talking about needing to interrogate him. I'm going to go interrogate the prisoner. Well, how are you going to do that? You've already established that he, of course, we know he speaks English, but like, he's not going to admit he speaks English. You've established that nobody speaks Creole French, but then we keep talking about how we're going to take him and interrogate him, and just or like Reese trying to drown him. I'm going to get this guy to talk to me. Okay, well that's great. Can you understand him? I don't know. Just so many moments that I think are just perfect examples of who we are as Americans. I mean, who we are as people, but then who we are as Americans too.
And then they're like, "Hey, it's like this guy shot him." And like the guys are like, he only has one arm, and it's a pretty good long distance shot. I think that'd be pretty hard. They don't care. It's just
it doesn't. Yeah,
no.
Well, and it's like very clearly this whole thing started. Well, they took the boats first off, but like if Stuckey hadn't shot at them with his blanks, would any of this happen? And so, like, kind of at first, everybody is kind of divided on the subject, but then we just kind of move on from the fact that this is all your fault. Like you've gotten us into this, and we just kind of act like nothing happened. So it's just kind of like, oh, well, yeah, it's okay. It'll be fine. They're trying to kill all of us, but not a big deal at all,
Yeah.
Because, like, he does that at the beginning to Casper.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you would think, all right, like, you'll be kicked out or something or be reprimanded or whatever. And it's just like, oh, no, he just gets yelled at.
There's no repercussions.
Yeah.
Like.
And then you would also think that you've gotten that out of your system. Okay, you're an idiot, but you've done it to somebody you've laughed it off, you've moved on. But instead...
You do it to people you don't know.
Yeah, you do it to these people you don't know, and you kind of act like it's no big deal. But, here again, human nature very clearly knew he started the whole thing, because then he kept asking, well, now, do you think this is my... Or, just to Reese, how do you think this is my fault? Well, if you're having to ask, I think you already know the answer. And, even Reese knew the answer. Well, it doesn't matter now.
And Reese is happy because he's like, well, I want to be in this kind of situation.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I've got my box of real bullets, and I'm ready to go.
I'm going to kill some guys.
Yeah, exactly. I think, his is a fun character because there's always one of those in every crowd, too. That's just, wanting to go do everything and then, constantly usurping the leadership, well, let's get in the boats. Come on, let's go. And it's like, no, nobody told you to get in the boats, hold on here. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's always just, like you always see, like in that in a war movie, like a nuclear war movie. It's just some politician who's always trying to just waiting in the wings to take charge, and it's like, yeah, we should bomb this place. We should bomb.
hit the button.
Yeah, he's like, just hit. Come on, let's do it. Yeah, he's that guy. But oh yeah, and then you got and just like the normal guys, just you're just in that situation, and you're stuck around these dipshits, and like they just get you in this trouble, and there's nothing that you can do. Like you're stuck here, like Harden, the guy from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, oh my gosh, like what? It's just wild to be caught in a situation like that. And but yeah, we're talking about Coach. Well, starting to now, but Coach, I do love that character because because like he's just like kind of doing his like civil duties. Like, hey, I'm just gonna do the National Guard because that's kind of the right thing to do, whatever. And he's kind of taking this. Seriously doing it by the book, doing the right thing, Like he kind of reminds me of kind of like Born on the 4th of July, where like I love especially the first half of that movie. But it's just like the movie starts off, kind of like the sunshine and rainbows, 50s, everything's beautiful, and kind of like a Norman Rockwell painting, and then boom, they land in Vietnam, and it turns into a horror movie, and your entire concept of reality is completely shattered. And that's why I kind of feel like Coach is like, he's kind of like this simple guy, coaches the team, and then boom, like you get in this situation and it's just everything's just thrown off, then you just completely just fall apart, and start painting a red cross on your chest, and it's like, well, you kind of get it, and I guess we kind of know people like that where they're good people, but they got one or two screws loose, and if a situation arises, like they'll explode. So maybe they'll go their whole life without exploding, but they're close to the edge if something bad happens. So.
Yeah, it could happen at any time.
Yeah.
No, and I love, here again, been a while since I've seen it, so I couldn't remember exactly what happened to him, at the end. And so then I love that kind of open ending where it's like, did he hang himself? Did they hang him? You know? And I kind of like to believe he hung himself because realized what they had done, realized what he had done, his part in this whole thing, and then you're like, okay, we're totally at fault, and yet here we are, acting like we're the victims, and so he was the one that was labeled as crazy and all that stuff, and it's like, I think he was the only one that still had a conscience left by the time the whole thing was all said and done.
Yeah, probably because he's just like, well. Because, he's acting like they're almost like in limbo or something, or like in hell, and it's like, all right, like we're doomed for eternity, just they'll keep walking in these, in the swamp, just like what we did, even though it's not his fault, but yeah, I do like that kind of, like, did he kill himself or not, maybe, because maybe they just found him, and he didn't say anything, it's like, all right, let's just hang him or something, but But it's just, his character's so great, and I love that act. I kept thinking, I was like, I feel like I know him from somewhere else, but I just saw In the Heat of the Night. So.
Which one is that?
Coach.
Oh, he's okay.
The one who hanged himself. Yeah. Because like you got Spencer, who's I love him. Yeah, who's Keith Carradine, and great actor, Carradine guys, and then. Because we love the Carradine, so you got John, and you got oh my gosh, brain fart, David, yeah, there you go, and then because Keith, I know Keith was in Django Unchained, but I'm not sure how much you see his face. I don't know. He's part of the bounty hunters in the woods.
Oh, I didn't know he was in it. Okay, I'll have to look back.
Yeah, he's kind of like that group on. I guess that was Keith, or that may have been Robert, but on Calvin Candy's property. He's got like a shack of like guys that help him out. So there's like a woman with her face covered. I think that was Keith Carradine, but I love his character and stuff, because him and Powers Booth, the guy from Texas, I feel like they got a good yin and a yang.
Yeah, they do.
Because they're both kind of level-headed, but one's more optimistic, one's more pessimistic. I can never say it, but they kind of work really well together, and they kind of gravitate toward each other soon. It's like, hey, we're kind of the most normal ones here, so let's kind of stick together a little bit. So.
Exactly. No, and I enjoy Carradine's character and the way I think a lot of times, kind of how it is with true leadership, here again, human nature, but like he wasn't the most boisterous in the beginning. Like you could see that he had plans and like he could think for himself, hey, I've got these hookers lined up for us, but like he wasn't trying to take charge. He never really wanted to take charge, but then kind of saw that he was the person who could take charge, and that everybody was going to follow him because he has those leadership qualities. And I think that's how it is so often. True leader is not necessarily the one who's raising their hand saying, hey, pick me. I want to lead the group. It's somebody who's just kind of got those skills and people gravitate around. And I think that does a good job of showing that, again, how that often really, really happens. And then, you have somebody like Texas there being like, hey, man, you should take over. You should take over. And, too often you would see somebody in Carradine's place be like, okay, yeah, let me take over. But, at that time he doesn't because he's like, it's not bad enough yet and I'll get shot. So, having that being level-headed to not take over just because he could at that point, not taking over until the moment when he absolutely had to.
But you get a bunch of you got Crips, the guy who smokes weed all the time, who's from The Thing, great character, and I love his death. How it looks real, like getting all those spikes stuck in you. Because I feel like it wouldn't kill you instantly. You would just feel all of it. You'd be like, you're just stuck. But
I think, and I love his, I feel like you don't see him as much, or get the interaction with him as much as you do some of the other ones. But I love the conversation he has with the coach, when they're talking about who has the better football record and all that stuff. Oh, man, I sold all of them. They're 10-0,
They're my best customers.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I love that. I love little stuff like that, just antagonizing them. And let's see here, but I love the part when Carradine talks about, it's like, hey, like when is help going to show up? And then he kind of goes through the whole process because, it's all predictable. Like we've, just like most things in life, it's just like, hey, we could solve this, but it's not. This will happen, and nothing will get solved. So,
no,
we're just completely screwed.
And I kept thinking, I was like, okay, this is going to end. But he kept going.
Yeah.
And that's part of what makes it fun is that it's like, no, it's the whole thing. Yeah.
Like we're dealing with the government here, so...
Yeah. This is when it should happen, and this is when it will actually happen.
Yeah. I do love that.
Well, and I think, kind of coupled with that, just how ridiculous it is that I-10 is north of them. They know they have to go north to get to it, and they keep walking east.
Yes.
And so you've got Carradine speaking up saying, this doesn't make sense. Why are we doing this? But everybody else does not question. I mean, they may question, like complain and be like, hey, why haven't we found the interstate yet? But other than that, they don't ever say, we're walking towards the sun in the morning, but yet this doesn't make sense, And so it's not until the very end that it's like, wait a minute, let's go a different direction. And then they, find the road.
Yeah, we have to go east to go north. And it's like, why do they keep saying that?
Yeah.
It's one thing if you have to go east to go north to get around something.
Yeah,
like, that water's really deep. We'll go over here and then cut up. But then it's like, most of the time, they're just in the swamp. It's just the same as it has been. So,
I think, but that's just most things in life where it's just like, don't believe your own eyes. Somebody will, somebody on the news or whatever tells you, and it's just like, hey, do this, and it's just like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah, no questioning whatsoever
at all.
It's like, oh no, my life's not getting any better. Oh no. But let me see. I do want to talk. Yeah, I do love Stuckey because he's from Final Terror. He was Boone, one of my favorite slashers of all time, and his character is way more better in that movie than this movie. So. But it's still very similar movies where, you're kind of stuck in the woods, exploring, these weird cabins and stuff, and. Two hard movies to shoot. I just couldn't imagine shooting this movie because you just get tired watching it. Just them just going through that water.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my, because it's in the 50s or the 40s there. It's in the winter. And I just couldn't imagine. I think I'd rather die than do that.
No, the way it's shot, you feel
You're like
100% like
yeah.
you're there. Like when it's all said and done, you feel like you're soaking wet, frozen to death, starving by the end of it, you know, just everything that they had to have felt. And I don't know. I think it's shot differently. I don't know what style you would call it. I'm sure like you know, but like, I don't know. I like all the panning shots and all the, you know, the contrast of like, it's almost like a nature documentary. We have all these shots of the animals in the water and all this stuff. And then it's, you know, starkly contrasted to what's actually going on. And you know, I've seen that done before, but I don't know that anybody does it better than the way they do it in this one. And, you know, just all the fun montage scenes and, you know, I don't know. I think it's very well done.
Oh yeah, it's definitely so beautiful because I mean, if you did it today, you know, it'd be on a stage and mostly CGI and stuff. Just no one in their right mind would be like, yeah, let's go out there and film for a few months. It's like, but they did in the '80s because they were cooler. And but yeah, just that repetition of just sloshing through all this crap, and that would make you more aggravated and more just make you. Get you closer to the brink of insanity to where it's like, all right, I'm going to start killing people, and we are in Vietnam. Like, this is our war, so yeah, let's just go all out or something, but it definitely wouldn't help matters.
No. And I do love that it was shot on location. You know, it does give it that realness, and you know, the whole thing just seems genuine. Of course, it is genuine. You know, they're out there slogging around. But, yeah, I'm sure it wasn't super high budget. But by the same token, it's like it doesn't feel low budget at all. I mean, you know, you can't imagine how long they spent filming it in order to get it to look the way it does.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Could not imagine. Yeah, just like setting up the tracks for the cameras, you know, just in... and all that muck, and it's just like, oh my god, it just feels like a nightmare.
Yeah, you set all that up. Yeah. And how long does that take? Get a couple shots, and then all right, we got to move 10 feet over here, facing the opposite direction to do something else.
It's not like you can change because it's not like the trailers nearby. It's like, no, you're out in the swamps.
Yeah,
I mean, like you're just stuck.
Hope
there.
you brought everything with you. Yeah. Well, and they do a good job too of like letting you know that they're walking in circles, like it all looks the same.
Yeah.
But then it looks just enough different to where you don't think, well, they're out here. They filmed 2 hours worth of stuff on the same section of 5 trees. You know, they, in whatever confined area they were in, they picked a wide enough range of locations and shot it such that you really feel like they're covering thousands of acres on this walk, you know, or excuse me, patrol,
yeah. I know, I'm playing Army. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I do like it. It is interesting how, back to the war thing, how Walter Hill is like, he talks about multiple times how, you know, like when he wrote it, like, you know, like he had like Vietnam like not in mind, and he told the actors like, hey, stop asking me about Vietnam, whatever. It's like the way I wrote it has nothing to do with Vietnam, but like you can do whatever you want to, and like most of the actors say it's like, oh yeah, this is kind of like an allegory for Vietnam. Like maybe just, you know, Walter just, you know, he just came from his you know, subconscious or whatever. But
yeah.
I know he's, you know, he talked about how it's more of a Western, how he's you know, John Ford fan. He loves, you know, like all the Western stuff.
Okay.
I guess in some ways it is kind of like a modern Western.
It is.
Yeah, it's just interesting how he thinks. Oh, it has nothing to do with Vietnam. Like it takes place in '73. It's like Vietnam's going on. And these guys clearly haven't been there. So in their head, it's like they kind of want to be there. But like they don't know how bad it is. You know, they kind of, you know, heard the stories from their dad, you know, World War II, whatever. But I think about like the, that movie that we saw, They Shall Not Grow Old, about World War I.
Yeah.
And how like even in that, you know, like the soldiers are talking about how like when they came back home and then like no one wanted to talk about it. It's like their like their moms or dads didn't bring it up whatsoever, and they were just like, people just treated like it's like it didn't even happen.
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh my gosh, that happened in World War I. It's like, because in my head it's just like, oh, that's just, you know, Vietnam or something, or or like, you know, Afghanistan or whatever. But it's like, oh my gosh, that's been going on forever. So like they don't talk about it, so they don't talk about how horrendous it is. They keep all, you know, the damage inside, and they don't tell people, they don't look for help. So then it's like maybe their kids grow up, kind of thinking, oh, I need to go to war, I need to go work because my dad did.
Exactly, yeah, and it just perpetuates, yeah.
But then if dad, told them what really happened, they'd be like, oh, fuck that, I'm not going.
Yeah,
but
Yeah, I don't think I need to be part of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's just, that's just so interesting. I don't know. It's sad, it's just, just like, I do love that movie. They shot Knock Roll.
I'd like to watch it
Yeah.
again, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's so great. But yeah, just hearing stuff like that, it's just, oh man, because you fought the war, then you come back, and then you're fighting that war because now you're just traumatized, and no one's gonna help you. And it's just like, it's like, fuck, man, that's so crazy.
Oh yeah, no. And back to Born on the 4th of July, I think it does a good job of showing that. Just kind of that, generational trauma and how it doesn't get addressed.
It's like, all right, it's our turn. But yeah, I love the end where it's like that's the scene that stuck with me when I saw it as a kid. Because I definitely didn't rent this, so it must have been on TV or whatever. But just the whole part where they go in the small town, and it's like you don't know who to trust, and you got the music playing, and it's very exciting, but it makes you super nervous and on edge. Because you're like, oh no, like did they just like walk into to the Wicker Man or something, and everyone's in on it, and everyone knows, hey, these guys are the guys, but we'll kill them later. It's fine. Like we can wait.
Go ahead and get you a plate.
Yeah. Feed yourself. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, just that scene is just so great because it looks like a real town, like a real Cajun town. I don't know, I don't know how you could fake that, but yeah, it's just so amazing. Just because you can't trust anybody, and then because I know some people are like, oh, some pussies or whatever. It's like, oh, this movie kind of makes the Cajuns look like the villains or whatever. And it's just like, well, I mean, you're saying there's not bad Cajuns. I mean, there's a reason why they live out in the woods and stuff. They live away from society. It's like, well, I mean, if you fuck with them, they'll probably start fucking with you. And it's only like 4 of them that are doing it, so it's not like it's the whole community.
Yeah, and I don't know how you could watch this and then think, oh yeah, they're the bad people here. It's like, I mean, I think you identify with all the things that they do because it's like, oh yeah, I mean, somebody came and stole my canoes and
fired at me,
and I thought was shooting at me. Yeah, then it's like, I don't know how you could look at their actions and be like, oh, they're the villains here, and you find yourself at the end kind of rooting for, the 2 guys to make it through.
Yeah.
That's natural, but then it's like, should I be rooting for them? I mean, like, I think they're some of the better ones out of the group, but like, still don't know that they're blameless in this whole thing. So then, like, that's a whole other moral question about should they survive, know? But yeah, that final scene, I mean, the whole movie's great. And, to me, that's what makes it a great horror film is because the way it does play with your emotions. You have these moments. We're walking through the woods. Well, we've lost 2 guys, but I think we're okay. We got firepower. We got our military training. We're good, and then something else happens. You have these like moments of the long pauses, a moment of action, and then back to a long pause. And I think it does such a good job of pulling you back and forth. And so then when they come to the village, natural reaction, oh, there's a truck, there's a village, everything's cool. And then the uneasiness sets in, and
the nooses start going up.
I love the nooses. I love
the
imagery of the pigs. Reminds me so much of Apocalypse Now. In the end. It's what I kept thinking of, and I think it's so powerful in both of them. I think it's much better done in this one. Sorry, Franny. But, I think this one really achieves what it's going for a whole lot better than Apocalypse Now does. But, and I love the ending of Apocalypse Now, but like in this one, I think it just,
but
the
it
music
does,
and the way it builds.
Because you get that guy singing, he keeps repeating like whatever he's saying. And you're just like, oh man, it keeps getting faster, and he knows they're around. You got the guy with the mustache, he looks like Jack Palance, with the mustache, and it's just like, oh my gosh. And yeah, the pigs and just using the real pigs. Like this is one of the only times where I'm fine with them killing a real animal, because it's like, all right, they're killing it and they're clearly going to cook it.
Yeah.
Like right now. And but yeah, just sticking the fingers in the wound, you got the blood
Yeah,
and the
it's
gut
like-
spilling
yeah.
out.
No, I do think never for animal cruelty, but I think the use of, animal bodies, whether they were real or prosthetics, I don't know, but throughout it, it's very interesting. Like the fish early on caught in the net
Yeah.
that he cuts, and then all the carcasses that you see at the early
the
trapper
pelts and
camp,
stuff,
but
yeah.
and then later on, the rabbits, and of course the finale with the pigs. I
Yeah.
think it adds so much to it. And I love the effects in it because they don't feel hokey at all. Like any of the blood on any of the soldiers or anything like that. I mean, I think they did such a good job to keep it, real without looking fake or ridiculous. It's just a good amount, I feel like. And like the head wound on the sergeant, I don't know, they just
Oh yeah.
felt like the special effects for it to have been 1981 were exceptional.
Yeah.
And then also, I think I said about most of the films we watch, because most of the things Logan has curated for us always have a great soundtrack, but
Yeah. It's.
I mean, this one just haunts you.
Yeah. It's just a whole vibe.
Mm. Yeah, clearly one of the most like unique, scores to a movie. It's just, definitely couldn't, misplace it with some other movie. It's just like, I don't know,
No.
Southern
Yeah.
covered. So, yeah, great score. And another one where a lot of the movies we pick always ends up with something involving the penis. So, like, of course, with Pieces, dick balls ripped off. And then with this, the guy gets, bayonet in the dick. So,
Yeah.
we've got a theme going
There's
on.
a
It's
theme.
beautiful.
But yeah, that scene is just so awesome where he just faces him and just shoots him and stuff. And yeah, just the impact of that shoulder wound.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it just real blood burst.
Yeah.
He just really takes it. It's just like, oh man. And just sorry, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, but go ahead.
No. Go, you go.
Well, no, just I think it's fun too at the very end that you don't actually see. I mean, you've kind of had this force all along of these Cajun guys, and so obviously they confront several of them, but then you don't see them. You never see the main guy, the trapper, I guess as he's referred to, at the very end, and I think that's part of the charm because I find myself wanting them to confront him or having some final moment with him, but they don't.
Yeah.
Nah.
And I think that's the best because then it's like, okay, you leave the movie, okay, they got rescued, but like he's still out there.
Yeah.
So it's not really over, if they were to ever come back or anything.
He's like, and kind of like the ending. It's like, oh man, I just love the ending, like where they finally kill the guys, and then the helicopter's there, and it feels like some dark reveal or something that the National Guard's there, because you see the truck, and at first you can't tell is it a Cajun, is it a National Guard?
Yeah.
And then it's like you kind of say, okay, it's a National Guard, but the mood still stays the same, where it's like this creepy dark thing.
Yeah.
And then it ends with the star, because then it's just like, I don't know, because it's like, well, they kind of are the bad guys, because we just saw what one group just did, and it's just like, well, I mean, they're kind of in charge of all the other groups, so I'm sure that all the other groups, if they were in that situation, they would have done the exact same thing, just do all this terrible, some of them do terrible things. And it's just like, that since they survived, they'll fill out the report and just, go, in the fucking file cabinet, whatever. It's like, well, that's another incident that happened.
Yeah.
Or they might go in guns blazing and just, screw up all the Cajuns, even all the good ones. Because it's like, all right, let's go in. Like, this is our war. Like, we gotta get revenge or whatever. So in some way, it's kind of a horror movie because, like, well, we survived, but these people probably may not. They may end up getting killed, and they did nothing. So I don't know. It's just some ideas. I don't know.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah. What?
You've been very quiet. You need to tell us what you think.
I feel like I have told you what I think.
If this was a group of women, how would it be different? If it was a bunch of, Private Benjamins, what would be the key differences?
I mean, I feel like Jesse said earlier, I think it would be very similar. So I think there would be a lot less like of this like kind of posturing where you're like, oh well, I think you would have a lot more basket cases probably, or just people that were like, this is just stupid, we're just gonna leave,
No.
or I'm just gonna sit here and all this stuff. I think there would be a lot less like trying to prove something. And I think that's something that makes it kind of uniquely man-focused, is that, like, they all kind of want to be the G.I. Joe, but some of them just can't be the G.I. Joe or the John Wayne or whoever they need to be. And some of them, that comes across as they just do really dumb stuff, and some of them comes across as being, like, just level-headed. So, like, I think that would be the main difference, is that there wouldn't be as much of that. I do think that there would be more kind of hand-wringing and worrying about stuff instead of just doing stuff. My personal opinion.
It's kind of like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, because The Bachelor always gets better ratings because it's a group of women.
Yeah.
And look, it's TV, so they, the casting agents, they pick, they try to get some crazy ones in there. So I don't want to judge. I don't want to judge to women or men or nothing, but yeah, the women are always more fun when in a group because they get a little crazier. So.
Yeah, I think there would be a lot more crazy. Yeah. So, and the crazy would just be kind of different than
because crazier is a little more fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because douchebags, whatever, douchebags can still be fun.
Yeah.
But the crazy ladies are fun.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting, too, here again, human nature, but, like, I think typically you would expect in a group like this, okay, there's going to be maybe one basket case, but I think it's fun that you have really, like, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So you have, like, just a straight up, almost like
full-on
religious zealot type crazy with the cross and everything. Oh, I'm the angel of death or the avenger or whatever he says.
Yeah.
And then you have just like straight up cowardice of the Hispanic guy. I can't think of his name, where he just like totally comes unglued, scared to death, shooting at stuff in the woods, And then of course you have Casper with his false bravadas. I don't know. I think it's fun that you do see maybe even more than you normally would, which I think circles back to, I think people are typically more afraid than they let on. Mm-hmm. And so you would have all those emotions that really would come out. But I think it is fun that it goes against the typical masculine thinking about what you would do. Typically you might be more like Casper, where you realize your limitations and you're afraid, but you're going to put on a good front. But then I don't think you want to ever admit that you're like the guy running around shooting, When are we going home? Are you going to get us out of here? That sort of thing. Yeah. But then that would always be there. So
yeah. Because I think I would lose it. It's just especially just being you're just covered in mud, you're freezing
nasty,
to death.
Yeah.
It's just like I truly think I would just break.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I've always, of course, Dad was in the Army, and I'm always like, I remember being in like high school and stuff, and of course, most of the men in my family have been in the military, so you kind of have this, bit of a crisis, to where you're like, well, should I go in the military? And I remember asking Dad, like, could I make it? Like, I'm not sure that I could, It's like, I think I'm a bit too dainty to be willing to be out there in the field, and Dad was out in the desert, so different, but similar. You're burning up all the time. You're getting to take maybe one shower a month. You got sand all over you and all this stuff, and it's just like, yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm cool. So
crappy food.
Yeah.
Total situation.
I do think, talking about all the different ways it kind of shows how people are, I think, and I can't think of his name, but the guy from Texas, I love that scene where he's stabbing the other guy. Because it's like, I think, to me, that scene shows like kind of this little glimpse of what everybody is capable of, because the Cajun guy is speaking his Creole French, and then he starts saying, kill him. And then you can see it like switch in his eyes, and he just like rams that knife into him. And it's like, I don't know. I think it's just a really cool shot because I think it shows like that side that's inside everybody somewhere. Like if you're pushed far enough, you've already got all this crap going on, and then he's pushed you just too much, and somebody says, "You know what? Just kill him." Yeah. And you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna kill him." Like, I think it's just a really cool scene. I like it a lot. It's probably my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Yeah, because it almost feels like dreamy. Like when he's coming, like when he walks across, like comes across, to the guy drowning. Yeah, it just almost feels like a nightmare and stuff, and then like the next few scenes, like he's just completely pissed off and angry because he just saw this side of himself. I mean that's like like you said, saw the side of himself that he didn't know he had, and it's like, oh man, like you're kind of questioning yourself.
But I think it's fun.
No, it's a good scene, and like you find yourself like Reese is a fun character, but then he's kind of the person that I think every group primarily hates. Even a lot of them were willing to follow him when he said, "Hey, get in the canoes," but like typically somebody that I think nobody really likes, but that people feel safe around because they're this. I'm gonna go do whatever, and you see that with was it Stucky, kind of running to Reese, and he's all big and bad when he's using his blanks, but then, now Reese, what do you think about this? So, but then I think, to me anyway, you just kind of hate Reese all at the same time. So then when you see him getting stabbed, you're like, okay, get out of here. Yeah, that's cool. But then, the flip side, you see that piece of all of us that, thinks about those sort of things.
Mm-hmm. And I do think you connect so much with the guy from Texas because he's kind of like I want to be this. This guy's cool. Mm-hmm. Like he's kind of got this mysterious thing. They don't really know him. They don't know anything about him. He's got his cigarettes that he somehow kept from getting in the water. Like you're just kind of like, that guy's a cool guy. Like okay, so I think you already kind of have this connection with him. That then you see that and you're like, oh no, okay, is that me? Could I be that person? Like, could that happen?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, and then he's just fun.
Yeah, he's just a fun.
Then, like being talking about, hey, what's going on here? Like, I think he's kind of the voice of like the audience a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't know what you people do over here, but in Texas, I've never seen anything like this. Yeah. And I think it's just that scene is fun too because you just kind of have this moment of honesty when everybody else is just kind of like, oh yeah, I don't know, it's strange, whatever.
Mm-hmm. He's just Powers Booth, great actor. Just one of those good blue collar actors.
Yeah.
To where the '80s had him, Tom Atkins, and was it Charles Cyphers? Some of these other guys that you could see either building your house or you could see him in a movie.
Yeah.
Where like today, like you don't have any stars like that because like they all get like these these pretty boys, whatever. Because, like, if you did this movie today, it'd be like fucking male models.
Yeah, like, how would you...
And it's just like, oh, that's not realistic.
Yeah. But who would you cast? I mean, I can't even...
Because, they don't, because they all go for a certain top. And,
I mean, you'd have to have Brad Pitt in it. I mean, I feel like, basically, this is made for Cliff Booth. Like,
I mean, it is kind of like a Fury kind of a movie.
Yeah.
Guys, then you kind of see different, aspects of guys. Like humanity and... in the situations.
That's one I need to watch again. I saw it when it came out. Of course, it's been 10, 12 years ago. I need to watch it again. I enjoyed it when it came out. You've not seen it, have you? So
I like it a lot. Good thinker and good tank battles. But Cliff Booth, then definitely this would be a good one for him. So Rick Dalton, it'd be good for this too.
I could see him. I was trying to figure out exactly which one he would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I could see it.
Well, that is good you brought that up because the end to this when they go in the small town does remind me when Cliff goes into Spawn Ranch because just like the whole fucking mood of that, like it instantly turns into a horror movie.
Yeah,
like for different reasons because at least Spawn Ranch, the history of it. But like with this, it's just like, well, we know the history of this movie, and they can't trust any of them.
Yeah.
But just that instant dread.
Mm-hmm.
You're just in this weird place and stuff. But it did remind me of that.
No, that's a good point. And like that even though where they are is within like the greater world, it kind of feels like you're stepping into a bubble that's uniquely its own. So it's like, okay, we've been out, messing around in the swamp, but like now we're stepping into this Cajun society, that maybe we've been on the fringes of previously, but now like we're stepping into the middle of it, but it's its own bubble until that's, popped at the end with the helicopter and the military vehicles and stuff. And so same way at Spawn Ranch. Oh yeah, you going up to Chatsworth? Okay, yeah. And then, so very clearly part of the greater map of the area, so to speak. But then they get there, and yeah, you have that dread where it's like, what's going on here? It's like its own little thing.
Yeah, like the thing with like Reese, it's just they kind of look up to him, it's just it's like talking about earlier, you kind of put the loudmouths in charge or let certain people take the charge, because then if it all fails, at least you can blame them. You can't blame yourself, even though you knew, well, my idea was way better.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to speak up and say anything. I'll just let them do it, and then we'll blame them later. It's like, well, they're going to get you in the shitter, so you might as well stop that, prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
But people are just, too afraid to speak up or something, and they just let it happen.
Yeah, and I think people are incredibly short-sighted.
Yeah.
We all seem to kind of have this mentality that we're not granted tomorrow, which is true, but then typically you have a whole lot more tomorrows than you think you're going to, and so then, you go through life with this kind of short-sighted mentality when in reality you need to be looking at the long term. And so it's a good point that we're just kind of trying to do whatever we can to get out of the moment rather than looking at the bigger picture and like, okay, what's going to happen in 2 or 3 days if we can't get out of here?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, well, I guess we just die, I guess, but at least it's not my fault. At least,
exactly.
They were the ones that did it.
I followed. I mean, I didn't think it was right we were going east, but I just didn't want to rock the boat, so
I'm not in charge.
I don't have my stripes.
Yeah.
But that's so good. Yeah, it's just such a good movie. Just because it's kind of like just kind of like Breaking Bad. It's like some people are like, oh, Breaking Bad. I was like, oh, like Walter's making these dumb mistakes or whatever. And it's just like, well, yeah, that's the whole purpose, because that's what people do. It's like we're not in movies and just we make the right decisions all the time. It's like we fuck up and we do stupid stuff, and even if we know we're screwing up at that time, we still just let it happen. But yeah, such a good movie. Just a great one.
All right, now it's time for the rankings.
Oh no!
So, first of all, favorite car.
Best fashion.
There are several vehicles in the village, but I'm going to have to go with the truck that has the pigs in the back of it. Good looking Chevy. So
it was a nice one.
Yeah, beat up in all the right places, but
that was good. Let's see there.
Unfortunately, no knockers, so this has to come in, negative. Well, I guess just NA on the knocking scale.
We're not gonna have a scale for that.
Good dick stabbing though, so that's an honorable mention.
Maybe there should be like a pig rating, some big old hogs.
Honey,
how many hogs?
Some good bacon there,
Yes.
Some country ham.
Seeing that, one turning on the spit, you're like, all right, I could get behind going here. I'll dance. I don't mind. If I get to have a plate full of that stuff. So.
No, I would love to hang out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like just the whole day and just
having the like crawfish and the pigs and whatever else they had going on. It's like, I could stand here and listen to this music all day. And if I have to roll the dice on me being hung up, well, I guess it's worth it. We'll see what happens.
Exactly. That's what they do in Louisiana, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
They carry ropes and moon pies. So.
Yeah, RC.
RC, don't forget the RC. Yeah.
It's like, did Tennessee send those to you? Okay.
Yeah, it was a crossover event.
Is that what he meant by like we carry a rope around here? Like, I just thought that like lynchings. I don't know if that was referring to. I have no idea.
I mean, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah.
No, I figured it was just kind of a reference. But Logie, how would you rank this one? I can't remember. How are we doing? We've done so many different rankings. We need to get some consistency. Were we doing out of 100? I think
we do the 100, and we do one like kind of to the movie, out of 5 hogs or 8 rabbits.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay.
Or Christopher George's wife, her titties. I don't know.
You know, I mean,
I don't know, but
You have to fire that up for the late night.
the great knockers. But I mean, for me, I really love this movie. One of my favorites. Let's see here. I think Sleepaway Camp was 99. I think the lowest was Mortuary. I think that was like 86. I would put this probably 92. I think 92 keeps popping in my mind.
Okay. Fair.
your go.
I mean, I've talked about this one a lot. You know, I talked about it a lot when we watched it. It's been a number of years ago. I was very excited when I knew we were going to be doing this one. It was really anxious to see like if there was some fall off second time around. You know, do you feel the same way? Was it a blip? And I mean, I think this may be on my Mount Rushmore. So I'm putting full on 99.5.
Oh.
The only thing I do not like, I don't like the slow-mo at the very end. I don't know, it gets on my nerves. I feel like we've had this very fast-paced, like, almost action movie, and then we do this, like, strange, very cheap-feeling slow-mo thing. I like the army trucks coming up, and I like what you said, Lo, because I was like, this is kind of dumb. I was expecting, like, the trapper to be driving one of the army trucks, even though that wouldn't make sense, but it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But then I think what you said is perfect because it's like the reveal of the bad guy. Well, we are the bad guy, so I like that. But I just don't like the way it's shot with some of that slow-mo, so that's the reason for the half point off.
You're
but
taking a whole half point off for that?
I am. I mean,
Like
I'm
2
really,
seconds?
I'm really docking them on that.
Yeah,
but
that's a
I mean,
dock.
I can't think of anything else I would have preferred to be done different other than that. So that's, I mean, I love this movie.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I very, very much enjoy it. So
65.
I'm gonna go with an 88. And I don't really know why. It's kind of like Logan, just kind of sticking in my head. I
a good
really
score.
like it. And it's not a slow movie, but it always makes me sleepy when we watch it. And sometimes that's okay. But if I want to watch the movie, I don't want to be sleepy while I'm watching it. So if you're looking for a good comfort sleep movie, I'm going to give it a 98.
It's in the name.
If you're wanting a movie, I'm going to give it an 88. So, but still feel like everyone should watch it. It's fabulous. It's just, I think it gets better every time. So
Better sleeps every time.
yeah, better sleeps every time. I mean, I sleep like a baby tonight.
Is it a little faster pace than Scream?
Yeah, I think just a smidge.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like, I mean, I guess it is slow, but like, it's really not slow. So I don't know why it makes me so sleepy. I think it's the music. I
Yeah,
think
I mean,
they
the
put you in
music's
some kind of
very- yeah.
trance,
Yeah, it's
and then
awesome.
like you're in this swamp, and so I don't know. It shouldn't be comforting, but then it kind of is. Maybe I'm a swamp creature. I don't know. I mean,
Well,
who knows?
nature. I mean, it's very
yeah,
comforting.
that's
so-
true. So it is. It's a nature documentary. So
It does kind of make. Oh, sorry.
no, just I was gonna say, imagine you've turned on like Animal Planet or something,
It's a documentary.
the Discovery Channel.
I never feel like I'm thinking, oh, you know, I'd really like to go to Louisiana. But then you watch
Yeah.
this movie and you're like, I kind of want to go to
I think I want to
Louisiana.
go. Yeah.
It's like, you know, they give credit to the, you know, Louisiana State Tourism or, you know, film department and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, they should have really worked this partnership more because it's probably the best thing Louisiana has going for it.
Yeah. And I didn't mention this earlier, but we did talk about like the swamp. But I love like the little, I don't know what they are, stobs of things that are like coming out of the water that kind of look like hands in certain
Like
shots.
stalactites or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in
It's
caves.
like there are a few of the shots that you're like, is that a hand? No, it's not. But it kind of looks like one. So I think that's fun.
Oh
A
yeah,
little creepy, extra creep.
yeah. Those are yeah. I always kind of focus on those too.
Yeah.
'Cause, it's like being in a cave, but it's, I mean, more dangerous than a cave. But
Yeah.
but that makes sense for you, Jesse. Just because I know you love the because like you're looking for those Vietnam movies where a lot of battles or just kind of like Under Siege, kind of
Yeah.
like the World War II kind of style
Yeah,
movies,
yeah.
but the Vietnam era. So it's kind of fits that for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and I just love something that, you know, that I have to think about. And so, like, you take this at face value, but then you look deeper at kind of some of the more psychological components like we've talked about. And I just, it's got so many different levels to it. And I appreciate that, you know, it's it's as deep as you want to look. And if you just want to take it at face value, that's great. It's a great movie. But then if you want to look deeper at, kind of what it's trying to say about us, about war, about people in general, then you can do that too. So
The human condition.
The human condition.
The human condition. It's amazing. It's beautiful. We love it.
Yeah. It's great. It's great. So
Go watch it.
go watch it.
Pumpkin weenies.
I would pumpkin weenies. I would give it a 5 out of 5 bear traps. 5 out of 5 punji stick boards.
What about hogs?
5 out of 5 big sows.
Big Sal's. Yeah. Oh yeah, 5 out of 5's all of them. Just they got them all. But yeah, one thing I do love the 8 rabbits because it's like there's 7 of us, but there's 8, but one of them clearly gutted open.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that represents the dead one. That you're carrying people. So, not how they don't realize that.
No, it's just like, I think the imagery with that is fun.
It is fun.
And I'm a big Agatha Christie fan, and so one of her great books, one of her most popular is called "And Then There Were None," and so it's like this story. I don't know if you're familiar, Logan, but they're all on the island.
I love the song. I always sing it.
Yeah, they get killed off one by one. Yeah, and it's like. But to me, that's what I kept thinking of, because then because there is a vendetta that drives the story, kind of like there is in this one. There would be different imagery, that the killer would give to kind of haunt them a little bit and taunt them.
Yeah.
And so I do love the way that that's done. That it is a game. And you think of like the short story, The Most Dangerous Game.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we killed the leader. We've let them loose in our backyard.
Yeah.
Let's toy with them a little bit. Oh, you've got these bear traps out here.
Yeah.
We've got that board of stobs. Whatever. We're just going to mess with them.
But I think it is a game like to the Cajuns because it's like, these people have come up in my swamp, in my community. I'm just going to treat them like the animals that I track or, whatever we're, I think it is fun to kind of look at it through that lens where it is kind of just sport to them.
And then you got to kill them because if you let them go, then the National Guard will just come in there. So you got to kill them. So, but yeah, just it's a great one, one of the best. So, and we're recording this the day after Veterans Day, so that's why it was kind of perfect timing. I was watching that Vietnam in HD a little bit yesterday. Of course, I was on the History Channel, so I always try to pay respects, whatever, but. And then I was like, oh, well, we got to do Southern Comfort. So it's like, perfect.
Falling right in line.
Yeah. But, all right. So, yeah, thank you. I think that's good. I think that's good. We could talk about best fashion. I don't know. Probably the fat guy that was singing at the very, very last song.
It's him. It's him. And also, his triangle, too, has to be included in his fashion choices.
Also, his rings and his boots. I kept
his
looking
boots,
at that. Honorable mention would be the Trapper. I just love his, I don't know, waders, I guess, that he has on. But then also his fabulous hat. He kind of looks like a Confederate general.
Yeah.
But then with his kind of chestnutty, woolen overcoat or whatever he's got going on. But, just... Yeah,
he's kind of Confederate general mixed with, Belschnickel.
Yes. Yes.
So...
It's just so great. But, yeah.
None of the guardsmen,
We're
going to have to nix them.
Yeah, so drab.
I don't like that green color.
Everyone's wearing the same thing.
Yeah, but good. If you like good Vietnam movie, non-Vietnam movie, I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's a good movie.
A good horror movie.
Watch it and see it for yourself. A sleepy movie.
He's sleepy. It's definitely a horrific situation. So that's why it fits. All right.
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah. All right, so I think we're good. All right, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
This has been Play Horror for me. Southern Comfort version. Very open, Logie.
Because I think we do need to talk about how I was on the news. So
that's true. We probably do need to mention that.
I need to milk that for I can.
Yeah,
all right.
So need those sponsorships to start rolling in,
Exactly.
folks. Okay.
if anyone's got some $1 million job openings
Yeah.
for me, for us, please.
You can be an influencer.
Yeah, in case, he already is. I mean,
That's
in case you
true.
didn't know, the host of the podcast is a bona fide TV star, and he will, for a small fee, do a media package with you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
You know, and especially like being aired on Halloween,
Yeah,
Channel
super
5, like, I don't know. I just thought it was really, really cool and really well done. You've done a fabulous job of getting, like, the picture together from Ross.
Yeah.
The stuff to, like, kind of give the history,
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
No, it was good. It was good.
It was awesome. And it was so cute. Everybody was here, and we gathered around the TV.
That's right. Had to
and
watch it like it was the 50s.
It was the best.
No, it was great. And I don't guess, like, Logue, that I realized, I mean, like, I know we've talked a lot about the drive-in, like, it's been a thing. I knew you'd known Tommy for a long time, but, like, I don't guess I realized until part of the interview that, like, you had to help with, like, the new projector and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, when all that happened.
Yeah, just raising awareness. Yeah, it's like, because I think, they made it kind of seem like almost like I got them a new projector. It's because, like, I think they had to take out a loan and stuff for it because it was like part of like some nationwide, thing that whichever one's got the most votes, would get a free projector. And so I was just trying to, just raise awareness for that. Just, or at least, if people wanted to donate, money, whatever, to help them out. But
well, no, but yeah, I just had no idea because
No, I didn't
I
either.
remember all that
Yeah.
happening, but like didn't realize that you were helping them out with all that. So that's even cooler because I know that was a big deal. So did they end up? I can't remember. Did they end up winning that, or did they have they had to buy it?
yeah, they had to buy it. Yeah,
But then I know there was a lot of money that came in from the community to help out.
yeah, it's just to get a big fat loan out and just get a new projector.
See, it's big screen.
But yeah, I like Bay. The story was good. Just just kind of a story, just like a person. Like, hey, you can put yourself in this person's shoes and just, help out whatever you can in your community or just whatever you like, whatever you're passionate about. And just anyone can kind of, find that in their life, whatever they enjoy or something. And
The drive-in's your thing and has been for a long time, and as it should be. And of course, we love being a part of that, and
I mean, it doesn't happen without y'all. So like y'all help out every year. So and they were in it too. So
They cut right before my
I know,
hand showed
yeah.
up. Okay. I'm so mad.
Callie was holding the lot, and
I was holding the lot. Couldn't
The
see
goal
me.
was Jesse. So the goal was Jesse.
I was honored to be in it. It's my life's work. No, it's all you, Logie. But we just glad to get to come and glad to get to hang out on the, especially the special nights that you get to curate the movies and all that sort of stuff, and just want to be along for the ride and hope that we can keep, growing the influence and being able to help Tommy out and Judy and the things that they want to do, and
exactly. Yeah.
making them more successful.
Yeah.
And then having our influence to also be like, hey, can you show this?
Yeah.
But
Can you do this,
so
please?
it goes both ways. But it's just fun to feel like that there's something you can be a part of that you can get back to.
Yeah. Well, that passion piece is so important. And I think that's really unique for our generation because I think we seek that out. And so, but then I think it's still hard for us to find that sometimes where you're kind of like, okay, well, I'm passionate about all this stuff. Like, how am I supposed to know what I'm supposed to focus on? And then people don't do anything, or they just are kind of like, oh, well, I just have too many interests. Like, I can't. But I think, we're unique because we've recognized what we do in our community matters. Those relationships we have with the people around us matter more so than previous generations. And I think the generation after us, I don't know what are they, Gen Z or whatever they are. I think they're even more so
Looking to find
find that stuff. So just thinking about things like that more than, Gen X or the boomers.
The boomers.
They're heartless. Okay, they're evil people. Those boomers. No, I'm joking.
They bought a house when they were 18.
Yeah.
They're fine.
for $20.
No, but I think it is. You got to have the passion, but then being able to make a change comes where the passion intersects with the opportunity.
Yeah.
And so you're exactly right. A lot of people think they've got the passion, but then they can't find the opportunity, and
Right.
maybe they don't look too hard, and so then they don't do anything because you're just sitting around waiting for the right thing to come along.
The perfect circumstances.
Yeah, because we got lucky because Tommy and Judy, let's just kind of do what we want, for those nights, because I would like to do more stuff at the Palace Theater, but haven't been able to, grease that wheel yet. I keep trying to, so, but yeah. Because, you get the passion, and it's like, all right, we're giving an opportunity. It's like, yeah, you can do this cool stuff. It's like, all right, fuck yeah, and let's make the most out of it for the most part. But yeah, that was fun in October, so. And then, I'm trying to think. I didn't really watch many horror movies, didn't really do too much, so. Yeah, we had a fun Halloween party.
We did.
A little murder
fun.
mystery.
It was fun.
We did. I thought that turned out great. I was kind of nervous about it, but it was fun. But only sad part is it came at the expense between the stuff at the drive-in, us being gone to Maine, and then the Halloween party came at the expense of us getting to do any of our spooks. So we didn't get to do the Trial of Terror, didn't get to do, Cedar Grove, any of our other typical favorites, Level 3.
Is it?
So we'll have to keep that on the docket for next year.
Save the groping for next year.
Yes.
And,
That's right.
I think the Trial of Horror, that one was closed.
Oh, really?
I don't know if they opened one night. Cause I think it was like October 10th, which was Friday night, and they were like, "Hey, we're not gonna be able to open this year." And I was like, "No!"
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's like,
We have
we
to
got to
go
get
there.
back in there.
Yeah, to get lost.
Those poor kids will never know what to happen if they don't have to help us out of that room.
Every year they have to help us out of that room.
Like maybe next year we can do like a trailer or something. We could film something for them. It's like,
Oh, that would be fun.
not again, not on my
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
I need y'all to open.
You people have to.
Yes.
This is. We've been around. We know
Yeah,
quality.
we know.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
maybe
this is quality.
Yeah, next
You
year
guys are
maybe
fun.
that's what you should do, Logan. You go around and just offer to film trailers for all these places, and then we could be like, "Oh yeah, we'll go through them." We've got to kind of know what the content is here.
We're not going to pay, but we
No,
got to go
we're
through
not.
it.
We're not paying. I will sign your legal pad, but I'm not going to pay.
And then you could splice all the trailers together, Logan. We can make a little short.
Yes. Oh, that would be fun.
Could. Yeah, it should.
But no, the Halloween party was fun.
Yeah, it was.
And all the driving stuff was fun. Of course, we missed a couple nights being gone, but it was all very good. Good crowds, good engagements.
So, it was good. It was good. Yeah, we showed Return of the Living Dead, Demons, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Society, which a couple kids watched the ending to that movie, and I'm sure they're fucked up for the rest of their life now. And let's see here. Children Shall Play with Dead Thing, Spider Baby, Your Animator, Girls Night Out, and Madman. So, intros by the cast of Girls Night Out and Madman. So, because I did an interview with the two stars of Girls Night Out, which y'all need to listen to.
Previous episode.
One of the previous episodes, we talked about cats and Girls Night Out. The original title for that movie was, I think, The Final Clue. She had the original script, and I think it was The Final Clue.
Oh.
That's fabulous.
I was like, ooh, that's a fun little title. Agatha
That
Christie
would
kind of
be-
sounding.
yeah.
We're going to do a remake, okay?
Yeah.
It's time.
I pitched an idea, a sequel, like maybe Ralph could, he's still alive, so maybe he's the killer or his daughter's the killer. So.
That would be fabulous. I have my green high top Converse, so I'm
I
ready to go. So.
Trying to get the ball rolling there,
Yeah.
but
We're willing to do what needs to be done.
he's like, we got to do it. But yeah, I've recorded that in September, but yeah, that was fun. I haven't released that in October, but that was fun talking to them. So, because Girls Night Out's one of my favorites, so it was fun talking to those two stars, and they were just very enjoyable and very fun and cat people. So,
Hey, they're the best kind
It's
of
important.
people. So.
we got to stick together, all right?
And I know that's right. All these dog people try to, tell us we're wrong.
Fuck them, man. They're terrible. But, yeah, I'm trying. But yeah, I think that was it. So that was all the fun stuff. So it's on to next year. Next October, we're gonna bust it. We're gonna bust.
Yes.
Bust wide
We've
open.
got 11 months to plan. We're going to be ready to go.
I want to go all the fuck out. I want to go all out. You're like, it's the end of the world.
It could
Which
be.
It could be. And
Let's not rule that out.
exactly. 2026, the year of disclosure. So fake alien invasion's approaching. So I can't wait. And so yeah, we'll just go all out then, and we'll see what happens. So, but yeah, I think that was it. I think that's the only thing I want to talk about. So
Okay.
You need to put a link to the
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
to the interview. You need to so people can watch it.
He said, I think I did a post on the YouTube page. So
Okay.
if you're going, go see that, or just go Forrest Sanders YouTube page and Forrest Sanders Sparta Drive-In. Be able to find it pretty
Okay,
easily.
there
So.
we go. Okay.
And then I'm the piece of shit asshole in there with a orange shirt. And
In front of the big screen.
in front of the big screen at the Sparta Drive-In. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was just fun. Just see it getting bigger every, just 2 years. I mean, I guess kind of in 2020 we got the ball rolling at least with October. And been in charge for 2 years. So, it's nice to see it growing and gaining steam, getting on people's radar. That's exciting. So,
And people from further away, too.
he's like, we're getting people, I forget the podcaster's name, but yeah, he has like 12,000 followers or
Okay,
whatever.
that's
But I
awesome.
mean, a big, good daily viewings, and he talked about us, and I talked to him. He was fun, and it was great. So I guess and we got some fun stuff. We got hopefully a good Thanksgiving episode coming up. So. Because this movie had some animals getting killed for real. Maybe the next movie too has some of that too.
We got a theme going on
It's
here.
going to
November.
get you ready for that turkey, let me tell you.
Yeah.
It was a good little feast in that one. Get the appetite going. So
And hopefully you're
Yes.
having ham, especially if ham is on your typical menu for Thanksgiving. Even if you don't watch all of Southern Comfort, watch the last 20 minutes.
There you go.
Get you ready.
Maybe some turtle stew. Who knows?
a little turtle stew. Yeah, it's always good for Thanksgiving, especially this year. Okay.
Special appetizer.